We are back. It's the Real United Talk. Myself, Rodney Cyrus, the big man Ross, and the Right Honourable Sir Mad Marcus. Ross has got the big screen tonight. He's loving it. Loving
Yeah,
it.
boy.
Title. What we're talking about is how far can we go? Listen, it's a 45-minute packed of everything to do with Manchester United. How good was the game? And I've got a really big question, and you guys may disagree. Do we need to sign Sancho if Greenwood is doing the things he's doing now? I want to know what's going to go. I think it's honestly, I don't even know if we need to sign Sancho with Greenwood is doing things like that.
Wash your mouth out, Rodney.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Wash your mouth out.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna hop straight in on that, and then let's get Marcus's opinion. But mate, I honestly think that the glory days of United, look. Put it this way, Greenwood, he's my favourite player at the minute. I fucking love him. And I think he is an absolute madness. However, we need... the way that our team looks at the minute, one of them front three injured, fucked.
Yeah.
Pogba injured, fucked. Fernandez injured, season over. We need backup. We need to get to a point where we're like, if Greenwood's injured, Sancho comes in. Or, Sancho... I think we need... And Sancho's one of them players... A bit like Rashford, a bit like Martial as well, that you could play any of them across. So if Rashford got injured, you could quite easily just flip Sancho left, I just love that, and I just think we need more strength and depth because for me, the starting 11 is sick. It's the subs bench that worries me. Marcus?
I agree with Rodney. Well, I don't know if Rodney actually said
no
to Sancho. I've got to say, mate, I think for the price that Dortmund would demand, I don't really want to fuck up Greenwood's development, to be honest. And I don't think Sancho would be happy playing a rotation role. I really don't. Not when he's been playing first-team football at Dortmund. I can't see the deal going through anyway because United have stated they're not going to pay over 50 million for him.
Yeah.
And Dortmund, their CEO, whoever he is, has come out and said that they don't really need to sell him. So I wouldn't be all that bothered if he didn't come, mate. I think £100 million can go elsewhere, maybe get two players that are quite suitable for that position.
Do you know, to be honest, I can understand what Ross is saying about the squads being weak, but it then comes into question about the players that are there in the squad that we've got already that we can't get rid of. Can't get rid of. We're not going to be able to. As much as everyone says that Lingard needs to go, who's going to buy him?
Leicester.
Who's? No way. Who's going to buy Jones? Who's going to buy Pereira? I mean, these players are on long-term contracts from Woodward. If you're going to bring in the likes of Sancho and all of the other names that have been linked to like Maddison and Grealish, and I'm looking at them thinking, you bring those guys in, what does that do to Greenwood's opportunities of getting first-team football? And I know he's young, but when you see a young player like that dispatch goals with either foot, just like not even tap-ins, like absolute belters. I haven't seen anyone strike the ball. People keep talking about Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Nah,
I haven't seen a United player strike the ball like that since Bobby Charlton. That's how far back I'm going to go. Bobby Charlton could strike with... He's on a different level, Greenwood. He's on a different level. Totally.
Mate, I agree. I literally think he's just fucking stupid. Like, them two goals that he scored, more the second one for me. The first goal was great. But that second goal, he had no right to score that. I just cannot believe that from the position he was in, he got that ball in the net. He's a special talent. And he's United. He's Manchester born and bred. He's just perfect. And he's what our team needed.
Yeah.
I actually thought that second goal, he was running down a blind alley.
Yeah, I know.
Where was he going?
Yeah.
For a couple of step overs and in the net.
It's the madness because that defender, from what he's seen of Greenwood's obviously thought, I tell you what, I'll put him on his left, send him out wide, and then I've got him covered. Wow.
So I didn't want to throw that one in straight away, but I just I just thought, how far can we go? The first 12, 13 players are strong, definitely. We're talking about backups, but then the backup players that Man United are linked with, will they damage the opportunities of a Greenwood? Will they damage and curtail his progress? And if you're going to get, a big money signing like Sancho, which has been the rumor since, I don't know, Jesus made peanut butter sandwiches. Honestly, it's been talked about for such a long time. Where does that put Greenwood in terms of his development? Because we've praised Ole about the opportunities he has given to young players to a degree. What does that mean for him? Because Greenwood right now, he for those 2 goals, he's nailed on as a start. His name has to be on the team sheet alongside Bruno Fernandes. You wouldn't even, if Pogba wasn't playing, you wouldn't even be worried if you saw Fernandes and Greenwood in the team. You'd be like, yeah, we're okay. We're fine.
Looking into the future as well, boys, if Sancho comes, we got so many, well, I'll say so many, but we got at least 3 decent players that can play out on the left, right? So where do you think Ollie sees Chong in a season or 2 time?
In the hairdressers.
You just in a long COVID-19 barbecue.
If he sees him as a right-hand sider to fight over there with Mason, depending on Chong's development, will Sancho be needed? It's an interesting dilemma for him.
I've got a real, in terms of Chong, I'm going to say he's the new Januzaj.
You think?
Yeah, listen, do you know what? There are 2 young players. When you look at Greenwood's elevation into the first team, and 2 years ago, no one was talking about Greenwood. It was all about Chong. Oh, no, in fact, not even Chong. Gomez. It was all Gomez. He's going to be the real deal. He's going to come through. His uncle's nanny, his granddad's Ronaldo, all of those things. Gomez looks as lightweight as Mata. So he's not been able, gifted player, but not been able to nail down the position that he wants. Chong looks like he needs to go and hit the gym and do at least 10 press-ups every day. And his hair looks like he's keeping him back from his movement, because I just see hair moving all the time. It looks like one of those Beyonce videos when she's at Glastonbury. But
for me,
Greenwood is different.
I think it's really telling that Chong's been at a club for, it feels like about 4 years, 3 years.
Well, he's coming. I think he arrived when he was
playing through the systems. And Greenwood's come in and he's just risen straight to the top, which goes to show you that if you do have genuine talent, you will go straight in that starting 11.
Yeah.
Similar thing maybe with Brandon Williams. Chong and Gomez just weren't getting enough opportunities, and I don't think it's for lack of people giving them opportunities. But mate, I don't know about you, Marcus, but I just couldn't give a shit that Gomez is gone. I really don't.
Well, I mean, to be honest, no, I'm like you, mate. To be honest, I didn't see enough of him to really care. Like Rodney has said just now, like all the talk was about Gomez, but Mason and Brandon have come through like literally out of nowhere because no one was talking about them. So it took me by surprise to how quick they've established themselves in the first team. But Gomez has been nowhere near it. Chong has been nowhere near it. I mean, they may get starts on the bench, but they're not coming on at all. So it makes you think, what does he actually think about these youngsters?
Do you know what? That's really, when you say, what does he actually think? We can get carried away with he's giving young players a chance. Williams hasn't had much of game time since he's been back with this kind of, the reboot. Greenwood definitely nailed on because of his versatility. McTominay now finds himself that he's on the subs bench. Lingard's not getting in. Fred, who we talked about now, realizes he's not going to be first, because almost it looks like Ollie's realized, I can't change this front six. I can't.
No, not at all.
Can't touch it. I mean, they pick themselves right now, and even with the young talent that are coming through, how much? This is what I'm worried about. If Sancho arrives, how much time does he give the younger players to get the game time they need? on the pitch. Greenwood is the cream, because you just look at him and you just think, you know what? It doesn't matter who's on the pitch, you have to start. Dan James is now looking over his shoulder, thinking, "Shit, I started on fire. I'm not even going to get past. It's not enough to be quick. I need talent, you know." And Greenwood has shown he may not be blistering quick, but put him anywhere near the penalty area, it doesn't matter where he is, he's going to dispatch it, and he's going to make any keeper look like an idiot, you know. And I look at him and I just think, when he gets to the point of him being an actual number 9, because he's learning his trade, he's going to be frightening. He's going to be frightening. He's frightening now, but he's going to be actually frightening. He's going to surpass what we talk about with regards to Martial and Rashford, because he's doing things that he shouldn't be doing at his age.
He's going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
George Carl thinks you look like Obi-Wan Kenobi at the minute, Mark.
I like the way Marcus he's got the references always in the background. If it's not Star Wars, it's like, you know, a little bit of Marvel.
Halo in with me tonight.
He's got a nod.
Film it.
I need to juice up my background. I need to get a green screen for this stream.
Ross, what's that? What's that? What are you twiddling in your hand?
Oh, it's like
it's like noodles.
It's a phone charger. Sorry.
First question of the night comes from, I think it was Red. Let me just find it. Something about Matic signing a new. There we go. Yeah, Red Devil. What do you boys think about Matic new deal till summer 2023?
Does his contract run out this season? Does anyone know?
I thought it did.
Yeah. I mean, it's 100% getting renewed, right?
Yeah. You know,
like it has to.
He's doing this right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good as well, aren't they? Yeah.
That's what Matic is. He's not even saying anything. He's got a small cappuccino and he's just sipping it, going, "Told you so."
Yeah, he's literally he's like a bit of a Rolls Royce player for me. Like, I don't really see him getting stuck in. However, his interceptions are just on point. I really like his passing range. I think it's brilliant. And he breaks for us. I think centre defensive midfielders get too carried away with just sitting there sometimes, where he will break through when he sees that Pogba and Fernandes obviously don't have space, because they're not going to have space all game. And when they don't, it's nice to have a midfielder that will go, "Do you know what? I'll take it forward. I haven't got no problems with this." Real talent. I love him. What do you think, Marcus?
I think it's a good thing, but I mean, a 2-year deal, that sort of like throws out United's policy of 1-year deals, isn't it? For over 30s or 31s, whatever they reckon they do.
They threw that out the window with Sanchez, though, didn't they?
No, not with Sanchez. They threw that out the window with Ashley Young.
Yeah,
he was rinsing. He was meant to have gone like 4 years ago.
But I do think. I mean, I don't think anyone can argue that he hasn't earned it.
No, not at all.
You know, if you look at the management, he's come in under. He came in under Jose. He did play non-stop, and he sort of sat out Solskjaer's early start, and he's come back in and he's proved himself. He's worked hard to get himself on the team sheet again, and I think it's a good move, to be honest. I do think it's a good move. I mean, you look at the CDMs we got as well. You know, you got Scott who played there. Fred was an absolute baller there for 8 to 10 games.
Where is Fred Watch? Fred Watch. It's George. George.
You know, so I do. I think that's a good deal to tie up. I think for the summer. And Rodney, what do you reckon?
I think it is. It's, you know, if Ollie goes down the route of giving the youngsters more game time, you know, particularly if, like I say, with Chong and McTominay, you're going to need a little bit of experience in there. And what we've got with Matic is someone who is able to be disciplined enough to stay and do the job he's been asked to do. And I think with time, you know, when you're a professional player and you played, you know, Champions League football, you know that you have to do the job the right way, and he's not going to get carried away. So it's a no-brainer. If he was allowed to walk away at this moment in time, what would happen is you get the individuals like Fred in, who's not necessarily going to be disciplined. McTominay still learning. You're then going to say we need to get another defensive holding midfielder which is almost impossible in today's market, because to buy someone as good as him is going to cost as much money as you want for Sancho, and the club don't have that.
To add one more comment on that as well, for these lads that we are trying to nurture into potential replacements for Matic, what a better fucking person to learn the trade from. I think he's one like the best player in the Premier League to learn that trade from, the most experienced in that position, I'd have to say. And he's I've got nothing but good things to say about him, to be honest.
But to be honest, it says a lot, considering what people were saying about him literally 8 months ago. You know, the run up to Christmas, you know, November, people were just like literally slagging him off, saying he's part of the Deadwood crew, and
they're doing that with the whole fucking team, though, aren't they? It's amazing how many people were loving Paul Pogba right now. Literally, like half the fan base were at him.
Yeah, listen, I'm indifferent. I don't care whether he does well or not. For me, I've seen enough of him to know that there's a player that didn't offer enough to the club.
But then
when the club needed him,
there were so many others.
Yeah, I know, but for me, there were so many others, and you know, not to go on at him. You know, there were so many things said by his agent and references, and I just thought to myself, you know what, true. that whole saga just needed to stop. You know, it just needed to stop, and you know, regardless of how things are going now, if Man United do really well, in 6 months' time, you know there will be a story about Real Madrid. You just know it, and Oli doesn't need that. You know, we've had that soap chapter already. It needs to be a different soap chapter now. It needs to be about those that want to stay at the club. So if he doesn't want to stay, then that's fine. If he wants to stay, that's fine. If he doesn't play, that's fine. If he plays, that's fine. For me, I'm indifferent. I'm more interested and more excited about the individuals like Greenwood getting their opportunity, about the development of Williams, about McTominay. All of those, I'm more interested in them. Their stories need to unfold first.
If you take away the controversy of him and the agent, which is a huge part, but if you take that away, I'm loving this new version of Paul Pogba that we're seeing, and it feels like I'm seeing a Paul Pogba that's taken a little bit of a step back and is doing the simple things right, which is what we've always wanted from that man. We always said he overcomplicates things, he does too much, probably because he didn't have a lot around him. However, this new version of him, this simplified, play it simple, I love watching it. I really. What do you think, Marcus?
Mate, I got to say, I like this after lockdown version.
Love it. After lockdown.
I don't think pre-lockdown. Like I say, I can probably count on one hand where I think he performed exceptionally well. Not necessarily for a full 90 minutes, but like second half, 60 minutes, maybe 70 minutes, you know, before he got taken off. But this version now, after lockdown, I'm liking what he does. And I think that is part and parcel to do with Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno Fernandes has taken, I think the name Pogba makes you think he is immense and has to win a game by himself. I think now Bruno has come in, and I'm liking the Bruno and Pogba partnership for the last 3-4 games. I think Bruno has took away some of that some of that pressure off of him, off of his name as well. And they're more likely sharing the load. You know, Pogba is not now Manchester United. You know, it's now a team. It's now Mason and Ronaldo, Rashford and Martial, Bruno. You know, he's sharing the load. He's took the limelight off him a bit, I think, and I think that's helped him.
Yeah,
I think that has helped him.
And the form of Martial and that. It's now like you just kind of said it there. It's now Manchester United with the asset of Paul Pogba. It's not Paul Pogba FC anymore.
No,
he's got
someone with him to share the load now, and I think that helps him so much. Pankaj don't agree. Right, because he says you have to give credit to Pogba. I am giving credit to Pogba. I'm saying what Ross is saying there, the simple things. He's not playing as an attacking midfielder now. He's playing a deeper role and letting Bruno do the attacking side of it. And I think where Pogba is instrumental is his link up and his passing. He can switch that ball 40, 50 yards, left, right, central. And I think that is totally key to Pogba playing well. I really do. When the pressure is off of him, I think he's more laid back. He enjoys his football. He can ping his passes. He can do what he wants. And I think Bruno is vital to seeing the best out of Pogba.
I've got something quickly to say on Bruno.
Someone said Bruno. Is it like Bruno Mars?
Yo! This come from another. I was watching another channel, not a rival to us. It's cool. It's that that Webby United Webby's got a channel. I actually really enjoy watching it. But they interviewed Paul Scholes on there, and they were asking him about the impact of Bruno on United and comparing it to another signing that he's seen had that impact. And he said the only person I can think of that has had this impact on the United team is Eric Cantona, which is praise to the highest degree. Like that is mad praise. But then when Cantona come in, he took a very average team to the title. Can Bruno do the same? Look, that's yet to be seen. But the impact he's had on his stats for goals is ridiculous. His assists are ridiculous. He's made every player around him lift their statistics as well. I honestly have nothing but... And even if he does mess... The amount of times I saw him mess a pass up and then instantly chase it down. There was once where Pogba messed a pass up and Bruno ran it down. It wasn't Pogba's fault. Like, he was probably knackered, but that guy...
Yeah. He's on a very, very different... A very different level. High praise to say if he's linked to Cantona. For me, Cantona he is the king. So for Bruno to do anything in the ballpark region of what Cantona achieved at Old Trafford, then that's going some way, because those were magical days for any United fan to watch Manchester United when he was playing. It was magic. It'll be a very, very special thing. I saw a question and it's escaped me. Oh, it was haha. And you know what it is? The one thing that really I mentioned during the halftime, and it was about Maguire's mistake. A little bit of nutmeg. Haha Banter's question was Maguire a shit signing? I just thought to myself.
I don't think it's a shit signing.
Yeah.
I think any player can get nutmegged on their day. I've got to say, I was slightly more disappointed with De Gea in a way, leaving so much room at his near post.
100%. 100%.
And if you go back further to that passage of play, Matic was very, very slow to close that ball down when it got switched from the right to the left. But I think, mate, I just think it's one of those things. I was quite chuffed with the game yesterday overall. I thought, really thought Bournemouth were going to sit back and just nick a point, but they came, they attacked, they played football. I thought it was a good test for United, going down early in the first half, and then, second half, near enough exactly the same. It was a good test of character. I thought all those big players that needed to step up, stepped up. They didn't panic. They carried on playing the way they were playing, and I think De Gea, for me, I've got question marks over De Gea now. I just think he's been in that United side for so many years now, too comfortable. I just think he's not comfortable now with Henderson over his shoulder.
Sorry, go on, Rollers.
No. I'm just the little thing about, I don't even know if Henderson's over his shoulder. I think you're right about him being comfortable. And it could be. He looks like as a player there who's, I wouldn't want to say lost his love for the club, but his commitment you might question.
Yeah, I've got really strong opinions on Harry Maguire, and I think he is fucking revolutionary to us. I really do. He's going to make mistakes. Every centre back does. I swear we went 3-0 down at half time to Tottenham with Vidic and Ferdinand. It happens. Everyone has an off day, and it's so easy to do that off the back of a lockdown period. However, the leader in that guy and his defensive capabilities. Let's not forget there was a period of time where every corner we conceded went in. That don't happen anymore, and that's down to one man and one man only. He organises that back four like I don't know fucking what. He spends half the game shouting at Luke Shaw to get him back in position. I honestly think like what he's done, and he's taken the weight off the midfielders. He's taken the captain's role. We never had a captain before Maguire. Like Ashley Young was like a fucking, I don't know what that was, but he's come in. He's taken the captaincy.
That was piecemeal.
Banter's argued that Fernandes should be captain. Look, I kind of get it. He's looking great in the minute, but
no.
We've got, yeah. When the build up to that goal is you can look at any build up to any goal, and it's a cataclysm of errors. There was errors all over the pitch. You can blame De Gea. Other people would blame Maguire. Other people could blame Matic for closing it down. They all switched off, all of them. So. Fuck it. We like Marcus said, we fucking won. We scored 5 goals. Who gives a fuck? Literally.
If it cost us the points, I think a lot of people would be going in and not nitpicking, but blaming the individual errors, certain mistakes that could have been eradicated. But I think overall, mate, I just thought it was a great game. I think that's the best we've been tested so far for 90 minutes since the lockdown.
It was the most enjoyable game as well, right?
Yeah.
To watch. Just brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, the Spurs game to me was more of a pre-match friendly. There was some of the tackles I see yesterday, mate. That one on Martial on the halfway line, for me, that was a red card. That guy's foot went straight for his fucking right knee. And, how that's not been given as over the ball or dangerous intent, I don't know. But that for me was red. And as soon as that tackle went in, mate, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a good one.
It's such a good point because we must have had, three potential decisions that went against us that could have turned the game, but we were so good that they just don't. They talking points, who cares? That was a massive one for me. I can't even believe I didn't even check it.
No.
But who cares? Like,
to be honest, when you saw it the first time on the slow-mo, you knew straight away. You just think, I've seen people go for that. But the referee, VAR, they would probably, getting their pop-up toast, so they missed it on the monitor.
Yeah.
Who knows
didn't they have some idiot? Who was in the van? It was a referee, wasn't it? And
an apprentice, probably just doing his YTS scheme. Yeah, I mean, probably he was a test and tracker. He's probably in the wrong box, probably trying to make phone calls out. I have no idea.
One thing I would say about our defence is I think we should go in for a left back, and I think we should go in for a centre back in the summer.
Whoa, who's that gonna? Who? I mean, in terms of left back, who would you go for? Because there's only one for me that kind of stands out right at the moment, and that's Chilwell at Leicester.
I don't say I'm not going to pretend to know left backs around Europe. I really don't, to be honest. However, a name that gets thrown out centre back that I do really like the look of is that fucking French lad. I don't know how to say it.
Koulibaly.
No.
Upamecano.
I don't know how to say it, man.
Yeah, Ross was on about him the other day, I think.
Where is he playing?
Did he move to Barcelona, or did I make that up, or did that happen on my Football Manager?
Football Manager's real.
But anyway.
Yes, I know. I sound like Alan Brazil.
But yeah, someone like that. So he's got a lot of pace. I like Lindelof, I really do, and I think he can do a job for us. But I just don't think I don't think we're winning a Champions League with Lindelof as centre back. That's my opinion.
Well, he might be out for a while now because of potential back injury.
Yeah,
that's why he pulled off on it yesterday.
Do you know what? I don't know, because imagine if he's not there. There seemed to be almost like kittens between Bailly and Maguire when that penalty was given. It just looks like one of those days where they didn't want to pass the ball to one another. You remember when those United games where the passing was going all over the place and it was almost like everyone had diarrhea and they didn't want to touch the ball. I just thought, oh, here we go. I agree with you. There needs to be another centre back. Who? I've got no idea. And Lindelof seems to be.
Bankar says it's Upamenko.
Upamenko. Okay, that makes sense.
George Kyle says he's at Leipzig.
Is there?
Oh yes,
anyone?
he is at Leipzig. Yeah, he is at Leipzig. Yeah, he is.
There's no one in the Premier League, is there, that we could look at? I can't, there's no centre back that stood out for me, apart from the twat at Liverpool, which we won't mention.
Not really.
No.
We could buy Arsenal centre backs, then we could get relegated.
Oh please.
Well, Barnes has got one here, didn't he? And he Everton, isn't he?
I swear he's a wing back.
Left back.
Yeah, he's a wing back.
Left back. Pankaj has gone Lewis Dunk. I have to be honest with you. He reminds me of the old school centre back who just everything that comes into the middle, just he squashes headers the lot. I wouldn't say he's the most mobile, but he's definitely someone that stands out in the defence, but not enough. Lewis Dunk.
George says Mengi's coming through.
He's a right back.
Fair.
I don't know about centre back. I don't know if he's tall enough. I know he's quite quick.
I rate 20 in such high regards, but I have a lot of concerns about that man at the minute. Something's going on. They said he's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, but I don't get that. Do you know what I mean? He played literally a whole season with Villa. He came back and just almost like disappeared. He's just gone off the boil again.
Yeah.
You know, he had an injury, disappeared. I mean, what's happening with these young guys? I mean, Fosterman, he spent a whole season out on loan as well. So I don't know. There's lots of talent.
He didn't do that well either, to be honest. I did watch a few of his games. So Fulham, I think he was at.
Laird is the right back, right? George Carter, Laird is the right. Well, there you go. Mengi, he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to be a centre. Mengi is a centre back, says George. To be honest, I can't see many centre backs coming through United. They'll buy. They'll definitely buy. They won't actually do anything more than that. They'll definitely buy.
Mark says, who was the West Ham centre back we were linked to last year?
Ogbonna.
Mourinho after someone, wasn't he?
Wasn't it Ogbonna?
Yeah, he's so. I don't know if it's Ogbonna. Is it Ogbonna?
Yeah, I think isn't it?
No, it's Diop.
Diop. No, he's midfield. Is he midfield or centre back? He might be centre back. Actually, you're right.
Yeah, Diop, mate. Honestly, I work with a couple of West Ham fans, and you don't want to go anywhere near their centre backs. Like that's so bad. That's so bad. Dodged a bullet there, and there's another bullet dodge as well. I was laughing at this today. I was watching Newcastle and thinking, looking at our midfield now, I'm thinking, can you imagine if we brought Longstaff
and his brother?
Oh yeah, we'll have them both.
The twins,
the ginger one and all.
The twins. It's just too much. It's just too much. I see Pankaj, just for a laugh. You must be doing this for a laugh. Tyrone Mings. He's more of Spurs signing, Pankaj.
Yeah, more Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, he's more Spurs than anything. I'm looking at the fixtures. Next game up, I think Aston Villa away from Man United. It looks like. What are our hopes there? Do you think United will get a win? I said, do you think? I mean, do you think how many goals they're going to score? To be fair,
it's how many for me. What about you, Marcus?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of eyes will be on Jack Grealish. I think, for that game, if rumours are to be believed, I suppose. But I think United should coast that. To be honest, when is it? Thursday, isn't it? I think
it says Wednesday. 8:15 kickoff.
I mean, United should coast that. To be honest,
I went to the reverse fixture at Old Trafford, which we drew 1-1, I believe.
Yeah.
So it'd be so interesting to see. I mean, we're like a different 11, but one thing I would say, and I think you're quite a big Jack Grealish fan, though, Marcus.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
I watched him in that game. I think I've said this before. He fucking tore us to bits.
Yeah.
He absolutely tore us to bits that game. You know when like someone, you can tell a good player sometimes by just how they take the ball from a pass. You can just see the confidence and they give themselves instant space with a small touch. He's one of them for me. And I think he's a potential player that wouldn't mind sitting out a few games on the bench, which is kind of what we need.
Well, Barnes says he thinks Grealish is suspended or injured. Did he play today against Liverpool?
He did play.
Did he?
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he had. I saw he had a chance that he basically. Well, he thought he scored and he didn't score. So yeah, he played.
Well, I think when they were talking about the Longstaff boys last summer, I was quite open about it on another show, and I said, well, if we're being linked with them, why aren't we being linked with Jack Grealish? Because he's a different level compared to them two. You know,
yeah,
I think the guy is amazing. I really do.
I look at players like that, and I wonder why United didn't go for them a year ago.
When he used to play,
when Tottenham were after him.
Yeah, just at that point in time.
Our transfer policy has changed so much for the better. And you're right. We didn't go for players like that, and you just wonder why. The amount of players that slipped through our net that signed for clubs that we didn't even entertain, while we're trying to get a 70-year-old Alexis Sanchez over the line. Stupid, man.
But you have to look at it, though.
Pankar says to you, Rodney, do you know about the Leicester centre-back who was mentioned in the team of the season?
Is that Soyuncu?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's quite, to be honest, Leicester knew that they bought him the season before, and when United were like, "Oh, we want Maguire," they were like, "Yeah, take him. It's okay."
Yeah.
You know, because we've already got his replacement. So, yeah, I mean, they knew they paid out the money for him. It wasn't a lot of money for him. He seems quite decent.
Johnny Evans as well.
He's there as well. Johnny Evans is there.
Good.
Johnny Evans is there. Very good centre back.
Fans don't want him, and I've got to agree with Carly on this. Should have gone for Werner.
I'll tell you what, if Bantz had his own way, he'd fucking have Pogba playing in every position. He'd have 11 Paul Pogbas with the Hay and goal.
Oh, Jessica's in the house. Apologies, Jessica. We went live at 9.
Yeah,
so
5 minutes.
We went live at 9. We actually were early. Is this the new time at 9? Are we doing it at 9?
No, I like it. How nice is it to be like talking about Man United and just having like hardly anything negative to say? So good, isn't it? Honestly.
Let me ruffle through some papers and try and find some negative.
Mate, if it carries on, our next streams could be us 45 minutes of smiling.
What do they talk about? They just laughed. They just laughed. Just laughed the whole, like the Joker. Just laughed the whole time. No, it's good. It's nice. It's nice to actually, even with things that you think they're going wrong, it's nice to actually look at it and just say, yeah, there's progress. All of the people that were saying Ole needs to go, they're probably, climbed back into their bunker and, started to eat spam sandwiches.
I'll hold my hand up, man, and said,
"No, but I mean, you know what? I will say this: I didn't think they should have given him the job when they did because they jumped the gun. They said they were going to wait until the end of the season, and I just thought, why don't you just wait? The fact that they have is kind of panned out, but he did go through a difficult spell, but at the same time, his hands were tied by the chairman doing silly things like you give Phil Jones a 5-year contract. I mean, who does that? Who does that?
Man United 3 times in a row, apparently.
Yeah, who does that? So he's survived and he's done really, really well. And well, I say really well. We need silverware. Let's be clear. We need silverware, but we like what we see and we like the direction. And I just want to be able to say, yeah, I was there. When it was getting better, because I was definitely there when it was bad.
I just want to touch on a George Carl comment here, and I had this thought the other day, and it's an enlightened thought that we've all thought about and forgotten about it. But we are playing, so we're not there yet, but we're starting to play of a Sir Alex Ferguson style football. And I wonder how much a former assistant manager of Sir Alex Ferguson is having influence on this team. Because Sir Alex Ferguson is very renowned for letting his assistant managers do a lot of work. He always struggled when he had a shit assistant. And we've got a guy in there, and I kind of feel like he may be a little bit the unsung hero at the minute. I would love to know how much influence he's really having. Mr. Phelan, the man, the myth, the legend, the balloon popper.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you know what do you think, Marcus, for that one? Because I've got an idea anyway.
I'm glad we're not seeing much of Carrick and McKenna on the touchline. I always wondered why the hell we needed 3-4 people on the touchline plus the manager. I just thought it was too many cooks in the kitchen.
It's like when you go camping, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just too many people's inputs, too many different ideas, and Ollie's there thinking, fuck's sake, how do I get all these ideas molded into one? So I'm glad that they've narrowed it down to just Ollie and Phelan. I mean, all right, them two are still in the stands, but you don't see them shouting or talking as much as they used to under Mourinho. So for me, I'm glad that's been sorted out. But yeah, I agree with Ross. It's a project that is going in the right direction for me. It's making great strides. I can only see it getting better. And I said yesterday in the post-match thing, at the minute, I can't see anyone else being in that dugout at the minute, apart from Ollie. I really can't. My first choice when Mourinho went was Pochettino. Out of everyone that was available, I thought, yeah, Pochettino. Ollie, I never expected him to get the job. I didn't even think he would qualify to get the job. The first 3 months it was great. Then there was a dip, and it's come great again. And do you know what? I'm so used to seeing his management style now suit that team, those particular players. And yeah, long may it continue as far as I'm concerned.
I've just thought of another mad theory. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This may come out all wrong. I know we've only got like a minute left. But I wonder that if all of these former Alex Ferguson students, the Gary Nevilles, Roy Keanes, Paul Scholes, they only really know how to play one style of football. And they go out into management, and they all try and make their teams play Man United style football, and they all eventually flop. They all do. And I wonder if actually having them manage Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they're implementing a style of football in a club that can actually handle that. And I wonder if we're just starting to see the fruits of that. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. I think what you have there is someone who's had what you call a high fiber diet.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
They only know all brand, and they go somewhere, and the somewhere else only does muesli, and they need to just come back. And you're right. I think when you look at Ollie, he knows Manchester United so well because he in terms of his career, the bulk of his time as a player was with Sir Alex Ferguson and like with Gary Neville and all of them. So to go somewhere else and then try and implement what they know from that one club in other settings is too difficult, or basically the tools that they have are not what they're used to. So it does make sense. It's an actual. It does make a lot of sense, which you then probably ask the question, why did they wait so long to go and get someone from the class of 92 to manage the team instead of going to, Van Gaal and Moyes, when they could have looked at previous players who had retired and said, this is who we are, this is what we need, can you deliver it? And it looks like, because for me, Phelan is the key. Phelan is the key. And the biggest mistake, and I'm not even going to say David Moyes, Woodward made, was not recognising the success that Phelan and the backroom staff had with Sir Alex in that last season when the team was shit. And they should never have won. And then to know that we're going to bring in new players, but keep Phelan on, because Phelan, for me, knew everything that Sir Alex did. And they got rid of him. And then for Ollie to come back, like nearly 7 years later and say, I need him. And everyone go, oh, what, that guy who we got rid of? Oh, okay, we'll get him back. And then things start to click again. You just think, well, why didn't you see that in the first place?
True.
What were you thinking?
I think Jessica's got a great point here as well. She says you have to look at what's taken place in the time he has been there.
Yeah.
And I think, the transfer window isn't open 7 days a week, all year round. So to get rid of, and we've still got players to get rid of now, but to clean house and literally start from the ground up again from backroom staff to tactics to mentality to players to formations to fucking everything in sundry, you know, the training drills, everything. And he's not got as much experience as what Mourinho had or Van Gaal had. And I think he's done a fantastic job. I really do. But I'm one of those fans that has patience. I'm one of those fans that I can see sense. I can see a 3 to 5 year plan. You know, I'm not someone who sits there and says, "Oh, we're fucking shit. He needs to get out. He can't do this after one game." You know, bang me fucking desk. And if whoever's in charge of United when Liverpool win the title needs to be sacked, blah blah blah. Right?
I
can see. You know, and I think Van Gaal, like George says here, Van Gaal was the worst mistake we made. I think he tried to bring European football into a Manchester United side that just didn't have the players to play European football, and it was boring football, to be honest. Mourinho wanted an instant success with buying ready-made players, no matter what age, no matter where they're from. He wanted to implement success straight away, and to a degree, he did it in the first season, to a degree. But with Solskjaer, he's going a different route. He's going the United route to some extent with playing the youngsters and helping the youngsters develop and entrusting these youngsters to get them, you know, at the minute over the finish line in the Champions League places, because that's what it's all about this season. So yeah, I fully try. I want to see these young lads. I want to see what they got before we go spend 150 million on someone else. You know, I want to see young, exciting talent come through, and I think this team, you know, apart from Matic, and I suppose De Gea is getting on now, and you know, you've got a young, enthusiastic, energetic team that play as a team and not as individuals. And I think he's instilled that mentality into them lads in a fantastic way.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? We've literally we're shutting off early today, peeps, because, you know, as United fans, we've got things to do. Who's having the final word? Or is that Marcus?
Not me. I've said my bit.
No, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it.
I'm desperate for it.
Go on then.
Final word is on Ollie, because I've just seen Banter's comments and I so agree with them. Is just for what Marcus said there. He is more to managing a team than tactics. That's what Banter said. It's management. It's doing the right things in press conferences. It's making the overall mood of the club happy, making the fans happy. He's doing it. He's made us happy. We're all smiling, and we're going to be smiling next Thursday as well. Wednesday. Well, to be honest, Wednesday and Thursday. You know, why not? Let's do it. Let's catch you later. Catch you later, everyone.
See you later.